Welcome back to the bus build. So today we're going to swap out the upper flashers, front and rear hopefully, but I'll get as far as I can. So the first thing you're going to need, obviously a ladder, and we're going to need a drill with a long Phillips bit on it. You could do this by hand, I'm sure. It'll be a lot easier to take out with power tools. What's going on here, in the back, I'll be using these flat plates. These are from schoolie.com. You could obviously make your own. These are drilled out for riveting or screws. They came with self-tapping metal screws. I'm going to go ahead and put rivets in them. And up front, we've got those over there with the driving lights in them. So I went ahead and pre-painted these. You saw them kind of show up in a previous video. But at the moment, I'm going to get up on the ladder and see if I can't get some of these lights removed. Okay, let's see if we can get this to focus in here. There we go. So here we're looking at it without the lens on. So at least on the Bluebird buses, and for this year, there are now 2 screws, one here, one over here, holding the fixture on. And as far as I can tell, that should release everything once I get those 2 off. So both sides, 2 screws. In my case, the majority of the screws holding the lenses on were not in position, so I just had a few to take out. Let's get these off of here. Be ready to do some drilling. These have usually been in for a while. Obviously one of mine came off pretty easy. The other one though, I'm gonna have to drill those out. Here's one set down. So I had to drill out several of these bolts, sheet metal screws. So on mine, this one over here only had 2 screws holding it in. This one over here had 4 at all cardinal positions. So definitely these will tend to get rusted. Obviously I need to do a little grinding work to get this all flat. Doesn't really matter that that they're in there, just because I'm not going to be putting the lights back here. So I know you'll notice if you've watched other videos of people doing this at older buses, in a lot of cases the light housings are slid into a much bigger opening. These, because they're LED, aren't that way. So in my case, I've got these little tiny openings here, which is great for sealing purposes, but I'm going to have to pay attention to that when it comes to putting the fronts in, because if the fronts are built the same way, which I fully expect they are, I'm going to have to make sure to cut out a large enough space for the new lights to fit into the old body. So we'll get the grinder up here, get this cleaned up a little bit, and get some paint on it, and get ready for placement of the new patch panel. So looking at that, if I wanted to, I could put the brow plate back over the top of it. I don't know that I need it though. I think I'm just going to go ahead and weld these screw holes closed. But yeah, not a bad option. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this plate and put it up there, see if I can get it level. Obviously the bus is not sitting on level ground, so I can't use a true bubble level to make this work. But just going to try to square it up there in the corner if I can. And we'll take the Sharpie here and mark out my holes for putting in the rivets later on. Obviously, this remains to be obviously, you want to make sure that you're covering up any holes that might be behind it. So I'm inside of the holes for the brow bar, or the brow plate. They're up here. And there's one over here that has a screw stuck in it. So I'm just going to mark a few of these and probably put some self-tapping screws in just to hold it in place, and then drill the rest for rivets. There we go. And my paint isn't terribly dry just yet, so I ended up just kind of pulling the paint off in the process. We've got 4 holes marked. You go ahead and get those drilled and get some screws in there. So I went ahead and put in the 4 screws without the plate, so that way I didn't have to worry about holding this up here. Now, I'm just going to put 1 screw in. Slide it in here and start locking it down. Now that I got that, I'll put the other 3 in. Go. Okay. So obviously you could use this technique to mount the whole thing. So I could put some butyl tape behind that and some silicone, make sure that everything's nice and solid, and just go ahead and run in self-tappers all the way around. I think I want to rivet it though, just because it'll look a little more even with what's going to be happening around here with the roof raise. So I'm going to go ahead and drill the rest of these out for rivets. I'm actually using the same 1/4 inch rivets that I'm planning on using to replace this line for the roof raise. So the ones I'm using are blind rivets, but they should work out just fine. Obviously the shape of them is a little bit different compared to the solids, but I don't think you're going to notice it looking at it from a distance. So we'll get the rest of these drilled out to size. I might even use a couple of the self-tapping screws just to get the initial hole in, and then drill it out from there. Let's get that done, and then I need to get some sealant on here so I can put it back up in place. So for sealant purposes, you could use a lot of different things. I'm sure silicone would work fine. I know that butyl tape would work great. What I've got is this ProFlex RV. So I'm going to use this. I'll put a couple of beads around here, one inside and one outside of the holes, and we'll get it going. There we go. Let's get this back to the bus and get it up there. So obviously we need a way to put rivets in. Because I'm going to be doing a roof raise on this bus, I wanted something a little more substantial than just the hand rivet gun. You can definitely use it if you're only doing small projects, but I guess you'll end up with some really big forearms if you use it on some big ones. So this is a pneumatic rivet tool designed for the 1/4-inch rivets that I'm using. I know some of them are adjustable, you can put different jaws in them, but I went ahead and got a new one because my old one wasn't working so well. So we'll take this up there and get some rivets in. There we go. Just going to work my way around. Maybe I will. There we go. Don't fall off your ladder. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll get on what we can, and I'm going to remount some of those holes. So the airline industry really knows how to do this properly. If you have access, I would recommend using their placeholders when you're putting in rivets like this. It really keeps your equipment lined up so you don't end up with so much mess out of the deal. Obviously, doing last minute reaming like this is never a great idea. Okay. Oh, one more. Do I have one? Nope, sure don't. Here we go. So here we are, one of the light delete panels for Bluebird school bus 2008 from schoolie.com. I'll do some touch-up painting, get all these rivet heads painted black as well. I think I might put the brow bar back on, or the brow plate. So let me get the other one installed over here, and once I do, I'm going to cover that one back up, and I'll leave this one uncovered. And let's put in the comments, what do you think? Should I keep the covers on them or take the covers off? Okay, there we are. Two rear patch panels are in place. I left the brow plate on this one. And I took it off the other side. So what do you think? You think it looks better with the cover on it or the cover off? I'll be painting over the rivet heads, so they're going to match a little better than they do now. But let me know. Drop a comment down below. What do you think? Should I take that one off or put the other one back on? Next time, we'll be working on the interior, taking the ceiling down and continuing to gut the bus. Going to have some bad weather coming up, so I won't be able to do the front patch panels just yet. They're painted and ready to go, but looking at what these took and all the touch-up paint that I had to do to put it all together again, I want to wait until I have some warmer, better weather to do the front side. Plus, I'm going to have to do some cutouts up there, I'm pretty sure, considering the fact that those have lights that are going to go in them, and they're going to take up space that's currently sheet metal, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this project, or hope it was useful in some form. Let me know what you think, which one should I use, and I'll see you over the next horizon.